Greetings and welcome back to yet another episode of the Daily Run, and today we're playing as Maggie. So what happens when you combine Maggie, the slowest characters in the game, with one of the most annoying items in the game, the Minecrafter? Well, you get this unholy combination of just sluggishness, which feels like you're doing something wrong whenever you use it. And while the Minecrafter item is a good item in theory, it does give you a free bomb basically every room, and who can say no to a free bomb every room? You still have to place the barrel down, and moving the barrel down and kind of pushing it around just seems like it takes too much effort. It really feels like it's super heavy, and at the same time, whenever you want to actually explode it, you also have to shoot at it for unnaturally long time. It just feels like the stats of the item are multiplied by 10 when they really shouldn't be. And when you have this combined with a character that's naturally very slow and sluggish to play, you have this combination of two items that don't really work well together, at least not if you want to go fast through the game. Obviously, like, you could say just don't use the item if it's so annoying to use, but then again, you're missing out on all of the benefits of the item, so you're kind of forced to use it if you want to stay competitive, because after all, it's still a free bomb every single room, which means you will most likely can use it to find not only all the secret rooms, but also are able to explode all the tinted rocks. Thankfully, the run is starting to pick up because we did get quad shot, and quad shot is great against many enemies and bosses, but especially the Haunt, and that's because you shoot the Haunt in bursts. So the ability to actually shoot 4 shots at once, and we can actually hit him about twice, means we can land 8 shots on him every time he kind of passes us around. And that's very useful, and of course, even if we didn't have it, it wouldn't be too much of a problem, but the fact that we did have quad shot, I think, made the fight just a little bit easier. Overall, not just because we're fighting the Hunt, but it does give you more DPS on overall, which means that if we were just shooting an enemy constantly, we would still be doing most damage, at least if all 4 shots hit. Even though, yeah, we are shooting slower, but the fact that we're shooting 4 shots means that we're doing more damage overall. Thankfully, the run goes a bit crazy because we do get Brimstone, and Brimstone combined with quad shot is kind of ridiculous, and we even got Tammy's head. So at this point you can see where this run is going, so it's heading in a very crazy direction. The fact we fought Krampus and got Lump of Coal just means that this is the cherry that seals the deal, basically, because Lump of Coal synergizes great, not only with just regular tears, but with Brimstone especially, and the fact we get Tammy's head, which increases our damage kinda exponentially just because we have 8 shots at the same time. The fact that it synergizes with Tammy's head as well makes Lump of Coal for one of those pickups that are just super great. And always harp on, when do you know that you're strong enough that you don't need to pick up any items again? And funnily enough, in this run, 5 items in, we're already strong enough to kind of beat the game without having to worry about it. And I really mean that. We can just go to the hardest enemy or the hardest boss in the game and just use our spacebar item, and most likely he will die in just 1 shot. Surprisingly, the hardest of the rooms are the ones where we kind of have to finagle our way through, where we kind of have to avoid spikes, just because our offensive potential is great. So at this point, there's really not much to worry about, except actually worrying of having enough health so we can hopefully use a sacrifice room in order to get to the dark room, or maybe an alternative is to find the teleport card so we can go do boss rush and then teleport out. And hopefully then teleport to the dark room via the sacrifice room. And of course, there's always the metagame of trying to find Awa's runes or maybe the shovel. So for that reason, I'm sticking with my Pertro rune, and I'm hoping to roll a deal with the devil in hopes of actually getting an item that will allow me to go further than just Mom. It's so unfortunate too, because this run is started out so strong, and the fact that we can't go forward just makes it a bit of an unfortunate coincidence. Then again, I guess we could have spent more time just maybe exploding skulls, or maybe trying to find crawl spaces, or even in the arcade we could have played that for much longer just because we have much more HP. But to be honest, today I didn't really feel like breaking it, and not too long ago, maybe I would say like 20-30 runs ago, I really kind of stopped trying to intentionally break the game and find ways to kind of cheese the game in order to go forward, but there are a few things that I think I could have done here in order to kind of maximize my chances. The least thing I could do is just maybe blow a few skulls up. Sadly, this floor didn't even have the sacrifice room, so that was the reason why I didn't maybe pursue those other options, so why I didn't go really hard on it. But whenever you're in this position and you find a sacrifice room on the depths 1, it's a better idea to actually take the sacrifice room unless you're sure that you'll have a way forward. So that means if you have the shovel, then it's a better idea to actually go to beat the boss rush and then go to the next floor. But if you don't have the shovel or any way to go forward, then it's a better idea to actually teleport to the dark room on the depths 1. And if you wanted to maximize our score, that's what we would have done. But sadly, this is with how it turned out. I really thought that there was maybe gonna be a teleport card, and then maybe we could teleport to the dark room, but sadly that didn't happen. Even though we finished in 146th, which is to be expected. Even though this run is okay, I imagine a lot of people, or maybe 145 people, have found a way to go forward, and of course that just nets them so much more score, and I have no way of catching up unless I know how they did it. So maybe some of them used the glitch to get to the black market, or maybe just some found a different alternative way, or maybe some just spent more time playing the arcade, and that's how they got the AWAS runes, or maybe the teleport cards, which allowed them to progress further. Either way, I like with how this run went. It was very short and sweet, and this is just maybe a bit of an easier video to digest, just because it was literally just enter a room, press spacebar, and go to the next room, press spacebar, and that's how basically the whole run went. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.